How were you able to convince the Bush administration to let Minnesota trade with Cuba?
I don't know. I had great people working for me. They came to me with results. Guess what? We get to go to Cuba and we get to set up trade relations in a country that has an embargo. For some reason, the embargo on medical and agricultural got temporarily lifted.
What do you remember from your trip there?
Everything. It was exciting. Today, I think I'm the only elected official who can say, while elected, met with Fidel Castro over the objections of the Bush administration.
What did they say to you?
I don't know. They didn't want me to. And my response was, well, am I supposed to just believe you guys? I want to go to Cuba and see the place. If I get to meet with Fidel Castro, I get to meet him face to face and draw my own opinion of the man, not what my media or what you tell me. And that was an exciting. I now have a huge picture of me and Fidel Castro on my wall at home. How many people can say they have that?
Probably not too many.
How many elected officials in America, while elected, can say they have that?
What was he like?
I found him, I'll tell you, he had the most unique handshake I've ever shook, and I've shook a lot. He wound up and thrust his hand down. I found that very unique. He looked me right in the eye and he said, "You're a man of great courage." And I looked him in the eye and I called him Mr. President because they have elections too, you know. He's just the only one on the ballot. We give you two. Oh boy, is America great. We give you two, one more than Fidel. You know, you might as well give it, because our two are the same, so you might as well just get Fidel. You know, same thing. But he said, "You're a man of great courage." And I looked him in the eye and said, "Mr. President, how can you say that? You don't know me." And he said, "Because you defied your president to come here." He knew everything. And I looked at him and I said, "Well, you'll find that I defy most everything." And he laughed. Now, to end the story, when we finished, he invited me to come back again and to bring my wife and children as his guest. And I'm contemplating it now, trying to do it because we can go now. Did you know the State Department banned my wife's passport? She wasn't allowed to go with me.
Why?
Well, what do women do when men go on business trips? They shop. They didn't want any money spent in Cuba. Like my wife is going to prop up the Cuban economy. How ridiculous. Think about that. She wasn't allowed. We're a free country, and yet my government told my wife she could not accompany me on this trip.
Right, which is remarkable considering you were
the governor.
Allowed to go, right.
Yeah. Home of the brave, land of the free, right?
Do you think you'd take Castro up on his offer?
Yeah, I'd love to. In fact, we're trying to arrange to take my internet show to Havana right now.
What was discussed?
I'd love to meet with him without internet. I'd love to meet with Fidel today, shake his hand and say, "You did it. Relationship is back, and you did it. You beat the United States of America. For 50 years, they tried to destroy you with terrorism, and you beat them." Because we did use terrorism on Cuba, you know.
What did you ask him about the Kennedy assassination?
His perception of it.
What did he have to say?
Couldn't shut him up for 20 minutes. He said it was an inside job. He said Oswald couldn't make the shots. You know that as well as I do. He said, I had nothing to do with it. He said, do I look suicidal to you? He said, I love my country. He said, if I killed John Kennedy, the United States would have wiped Cuba off the earth. I'm not suicidal. He didn't have anything to do with it. And he's correct. Oswald couldn't make the shots, and it was an inside job.
For more clips from this interview, visit GrahamBensinger.com.